Hello my friends, welcome. It's episode 8, or episode 6 of this actual campaign, I guess. If we remember last time, the enemy conducted a suicidal attack from this town, which resulted in, so you can see here that this one's got maximum readiness and maximum entrenchment. But this one has been brutalized down to 31 morale. This one's been brutalized as well. Readiness, entrenchment, and morale are all relatively lower. Same with this one. This one obviously didn't attack, but its morale has also suffered. In fact, morale across the board for all of them is not so great. So, I reckon we can actually just take this here and now. But before we get into that, I just wanted to go over an overview of what's going on right now. So, I haven't yet in this campaign really been in the reports. And the reports will tell you everything about the game. And unfortunately, in a way, the reports will almost tell you too much about the game. They'll tell you stuff you're not even supposed to know, if you read it carefully enough. So, for example, in here there is a factions overview. No, that's not the one I want. I actually want the factions overview, but not internal factions. I want external factions. Victory overview, it's in here. So you can see here that there are 5 major regimes. So this report immediately tells us how many major regimes there are. And they're all, so you see this is me here, 5.8, 7.5. And if I'm just about to take this 7.5% population, only 4.1% of the planet. So my score is lower because of my percentage of planet taken more than anything else. You see I'm roughly even with another major regime here and slightly above another major regime here. This one at the top with a huge score is the Nemesis. And what's interesting is that it looks like the Nemesis has crushed a major regime. They must have started next to them. So the Nemesis is actually accelerating away because, well, they have a head start to begin with, but they've also managed to actually start next to a major regime and give them a kicking. Now, that's not necessarily a big deal. I'm actually on course to pretty, solid position. Once I take this town down here, I don't know what the population is of this town, but using sort of my main town being, say, 120,000, and this town, which I took over, being 50,000. So if you extrapolate that, another 50,000 here would potentially see my score rise by 25%. And 25% score rise would put me in second place, more or less. So, yeah, looking over this report, we actually know our exact position in the world. And looking at the strategic map, we know that the Warshan's domain is down here. Quite reasonably far away from us at the moment. So what is probably going to happen is, as I take these areas, I'll be here and they'll be here, and we'll end up drawing a battle line here. Now, where the AI has a huge advantage, of course, is that they don't pay for road building, and their supply chain is simplified, which means that they can take a lot of territory very easily without really having to worry about holding it or delivering supplies to it. Once I take this town here, I may be able to expand further this way, but I am actually going to be in a position, or maybe even to here, but I am going to be in a position where I need to strengthen my logistics chain, because at this early phase in the game, the logistics chain is not that under stress, but stress is starting to develop here. And looking at the SHQ, this is going to be caused by a lack of capacity, almost certainly by a lack of capacity. Here we go, click on the barrel. So here, everything's been delivered to the zones. That only represents 176 items. Everything's been delivered to units, apart from 2 items. So probably one of my units is in an awkward position where it can't be delivered too easily. Everything from the zones has been delivered to the SHQ. Only part of the reinforcements have gone out. 12 requested, 1 delivered. Now this bar can actually be misleading because it includes militia deliveries, and they fail often because there is no militia to deliver. So that's why they fail. You can actually see here that capacity for SHQ to units is only just under 50% utilized, and from zone to SHQ is about 60% utilized. So we will have capacity issues in the near future, just not right this moment. But this can be a bit misleading because this is actually militia deliveries that are problematic. And it's probably this militia unit here that's causing it, because it's requesting stuff and it's not getting it. It's replacements that they want. So you can see here they've requested 410 replacements and they've not gotten them. And that's because it's a militia unit, there are no replacements to give. So anyway, going back to the reports. Another important report is, so these guys, every major regime that's, enemy regime is going to start next to metal. So if these guys did indeed kill these guys, then they have already secured minimum 2 metal, and I haven't found any yet. Now you may say to yourself, oh well, that's because you only put like 5% into prospecting. Honestly, putting points into prospecting is a waste of time. Now you see here, it says, we have discovered 1 water deposit hex. We are pretty sure we cannot discover any further deposits in the zone. This is literally absolute. That means there is nothing left in this zone at all. Now if you expand the zone you might find something, but in the zone as it exists now there's nothing. And here it says, we are sure some deposits unknown type are present somewhere. 1. That means that there is definitely 100% guaranteed that there is a deposit in that zone. So this is what I mean by the reports part of the game can actually tell you more than you should know. I think it's the prospecting push. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if archaeology effort will actually ever find a raw resource, but prospecting push will. So the difficulty is 75, and I have a plus 48. The only issue here is that on this difficulty, all of my rolls have been unbelievably terrible, pretty much perpetually. I only need 27 out of 100 to pass this check, but I wonder if it will just zero me out.
Roger that.
Okay, no, it worked. Okay, so what we found was water, which is, there it is. So we found water here, and now if we look at the reports, it says exactly the same as the other one, we cannot discover anything. So there's no point in wasting your... Obviously, set it to 5% so that the system still works, but there's very little point to actually wasting bureaucratic points on prospecting, because a lot of the time you won't find anything, and the report will actually let you know if there's anything to find. It's the Shadow Sect. Oh, it looks like all of my staff love the Shadow Sect. I kind of wanted to get rid of the Shadow Sect, but it looks like everyone on my staff worships them, so we'll have to just we'll have to live with them. Yeah, fine. He recommends that we go from 12 to 13 leaders. You just forced me to hire a leader. So this will actually work straight away. That will actually be a pass at the literal start of this turn.
Yes, sir.
Let's not upgrade. Just go into the leader management panel. I don't know why my nose is itching, but it is again. Good old Good old surgery. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 liters. So I just have to add 1 to meet his demand. Basically, everyone is part of this armed reformist faction now. That does make things easier for me, because then I just do everything that pleases them. And I don't really have any problems. Except, you know, my leader of the Supreme Command Council is a faction leader of a different faction, but okay, whatever. What a pain. Okay. Well, we can't really afford to worry about leadership kind of thing now anyway, so... Alright, let's get to work. I think I just finished researching the radiation filters technology as well, so... that should make life a lot easier. Down here, where all this radiation's going on. The green radiation you can pretty much ignore, and honestly the yellow radiation can usually be ignored too, but I think the blue is where it starts to really put the hurt on you. Alright, let's go. Looks like high morale for all of these units. Get them! 14 to 1. Okay. Okie dokie. Sound effects in this game. Seriously. I was playing with a different game and I think I turned off auto combat. So I gotta put it back. Okay. The city is ours. We still need to kill off these units, but without a city they should be reasonably easy to surround and destroy. So we'll soon be reaching a point where we need to also upgrade our truck station. 100, 100. What am I building at the moment? I've got a recycling facility building. And that's it. Yeah, okay. I think it would be wise to also start the construction of this Mark II truck station. Right. I don't think there's much left for me to do here with my cards. Except, I suppose, fail to put spies in places.
Copy that. Copy that.
Alright, 3 spies in there, good. Let's see what there is. It looks like the enemy moved away here, so I'm going to take the opportunity to expand my position. Remember, I went into a Friends for Life pact with them, which I'll have to break at some point. I wouldn't mind taking Ferris Spring, but we're getting kind of far away from my starting city here. And you can't relocate your SHQ. It would be nice if I could relocate it as far as I know, it's not possible to relocate it. Yeah. You can see that units that are being held in the HQ are having their readiness improved over time. I actually require some buggies. Oh, I did lose some. I'm right on the edge of my logistics chain here, because these guys have gone yellow. Ideally, you want to grow around your... This is why being up the top is actually not necessarily such a good thing. Because if your SHQ is smack bang in the middle of the map, then you can spread in all directions, although you can be attacked in all directions. Here we're in a situation where I can't, you know, I can't grow north. I really need to grow this way. If I want to grow further than this in this direction, I'm going to need huge improvements to my supply chain, or to leave my borders undefended, which is a really bad idea. Okay, so these guys were eliminated on this turn. This sometimes happens with minor factions. I eliminated them, so all their units have just disappeared and all this territory has just become mine instantly. That's why this is like this great big gap like this now. Oh, excuse me. Oh, what I need is a drink. What I need right now is a drink. You know, apparently, no one has played Nemesis Extreme on YouTube at all. Not one person. So we're breaking new ground here. I still don't know what the difficulty settings truly affect. I'm sure they affect something. I think they affect rolls. Oh! Well, there's definitely an enemy in what was previously my space. So I eliminated this faction and all this territory was mine. Now suddenly all this territory has just been taken by someone who's immediately rushed into the gap. And it looks like it might be this guy who I swore to be friendly with. Our leader count is 13, and that is higher or equal to the 13 leaders we promised. Woohoo! And our radiation filters are complete. Sweet. And the howitzer is complete. Also sweet. And the usual suspect cards. Nope, who the hell is this? Raiders, minor regime. It is not Freeless or whoever you want to, whatever they want to call themselves. Is this construction complete? Excellent. Hopefully I'm going to start farming beautiful, beautiful artifacts out of there. Okay. This is probably one of the most important things I can do, which is to make a new tank. So, howitzers are good against soft units, and high velocity guns are good against other tanks. You generally want to run howitzers. You know, the question is, I think we'll go with 25. .25mm playing, and I think 300 engine power will be sufficient. We'll do the assessment here, hang on. 50 weight, so that's plus 25, so 175 weight. Yeah, the light engine will just be slightly underpowered, but it's good enough.
Affirmative.
Okay, cool.
Understood.
Finally, we have a spare governor. Nope,
Understood.
later. Yeah, we won't. We will just kill you. No offense, dudes. You just charged into my territory to demand things from me. And you have placed yourself in the bad touch zone. So you can actually see here, this is the number of action points that these various units have got. Even though they're low on action points, they can readily contribute to providing me encirclement bonus. Surrender! Okie dokie. That's it now. It's just they're shattered, so they're going to retreat again. So it would seem that these boys are right in my face here. Okay, so what we have to do now is we just have to get out the zone borders tool. Just make sure that the zone borders actually make sense. Probably should hand that one over as well, and that one. And maybe that one too. There we go. Okay. So we can just raise things directly here, which is cool. I was going to raise artillery, but it doesn't seem necessary now. And what I will do is I will create a regiment of machine gunners. To hold this. I always want a full regiment of machine gunners in each town. To suppress any riots and to help. Basically, having a large army sat in a town will actually slowly get rid of danger, unrest, and fear. It's a good thing, basically, having a huge army in a town. Almost universally a good thing. Okay, my spies reveal that this area is like a giant radioactive city. That I guess this is like some big radioactive pond in the middle, almost. Or it's full of lava. Wow, this was proper fallout here. Zone landing, no city. It's a very small, degraded factory. Well, this would be a very good capture, this. 40 extra industrial points is pretty solid. This city would also provide all the metal I could ever want. Bring in the salvaging. Alright, let's have a look at all of our stuff. See, I'll show you this. Like, this increase in unrest will not be a big problem because I have a lot of units in every city.
Yes, sir.
But you see, look, it hit the capital. It's almost guaranteed that these disasters will hit exactly where it will hurt the most. Alright, if I could just clear away this area. This vehicle factory is definitely going to be a good capture for us, and then we can make efforts to consolidate our position. The fact that I found rares here is really of huge benefit to me. Now I just got to try and extract them as fast as possible. How much for level 3? 2 rounds. You know what? We can totally afford it. We just have to be a little bit careful. If we look at the reports now, the victory report has probably changed a fair bit. Yeah, so now I have 9.9% of the world's population. They're only beating me on victory points because of percentage of planet owned. But the AI will always steamroll ahead on that. So I'm clearly above the other two extreme major regimes. It's only the Nemesis regime that's ahead, and it seems like it's because they devoured the guy at the bottom who's zeroed out. So there's nothing we could have done about that. That's, you know, that's happening in a totally different place. Wow, that is one hell of a X city. There's no town down here, but damn, a town down here could be profitable. I should really try and profit from these ruins first. Oh, is that platinum? Okay, so there's different levels of rarity. There's like silver, gold, platinum, and rainbow or something. Platinum is one of the highest rarities. That means that you're going to be pulling artifacts out of the ground pretty much constantly. Those 5% bureaucratic points are working hard. I tend to not build the other councils, really. I like to focus on technology. Models and formations. And yeah, your staff are going to suffer, of course, because you haven't got a staff council, but foreign diplomacy council can be handled by just killing everybody. And staff issues, you can live with them. I see I am going to have to kill this lot. This is great. This is great. We could get a recycling facility up here too. I almost wish I'd discovered that before I freaking upgraded that. But anyway. We have discovered the padded envirosuits and the anti-tank gun. And 4 machinery was found. Is that platinum or is that silver? It's just silver. Uncommon silver. On every 500 scavenge points scavenged, you'll get 1 artifact. But the artifact will be an uncommon. Takes a bit longer to scavenge these ones, but they'll be rare. Still, worth doing, of course. Metal is building up. Start deploying tanks in large numbers. I need to redesign the buggy at some point as well, because these buggies are garbage. As we looked in a previous episode, the structural the structural rating for them was pretty bad.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
switch research to the padded envirosuit. That's more important. I would want to upgrade this town in the near future, because obviously I can't get past level 1 buildings as long as it's a level 1 town, but
Aye, aye, sir.
right now I don't have the resources for to deal with their expectations, so they're just going to have to live. Okay. Leave that as an unincorporated zone for now. I still haven't digested this one. I'm not quite sure where you can actually see the loyalty rating of a town. The happiness rating is obviously here. Admin strain, none. Security points, education points. Fertility. Yeah, I'm not quite sure where you can actually see loyalty. It doesn't really matter. It will come with time. As long as the village is not full of rebellion, it will be fine. You can see here, like, the unrest is disappearing very quickly. And that's because of the security presence. Because of time and because of all that fear that's here as well. This is where fear can actually work in your favor. Danger is the worst one, really, because danger causes unrest. Alright, we got it. We got the vehicle compound. Go away.
See you on the other side. Okie dokie.
Okie dokie. We got a lot of hits here, but we did not actually kill anything, it would seem. Either way, the time has come to push these guys back. And I probably need to raise another infantry regiment to open up another front here, or at least if I can maybe squeeze these guys out. Wow, either my recon on these guys is terrible, or they're actually close to death. I mean, this is like mega irradiated zone. So they could be suffering from being irradiated. Okay, one turn left until my latest recycling center is complete. Maybe I should add another one.
Yes, sir.
Just be careful not to build more stuff than your economy can support, because it can lead to weird problems. Oh, look at this. This level 3 recycling center is now producing high-tech parts and machines. Because of the rarity of the stuff available, you also get high-tech parts and machines if you upgrade the center somewhat, or sometimes even if you don't upgrade the center. That's incredibly useful to us. Credits, credits, credits. Just double checking my credit situation actually. I am truthful with 2 L's. I'm just full of the truth. Okay, I'm burning 132 credits per turn, so I do need to sell things. Wow, look at the price of rare earth. Sweet. Especially considering the amount of it that I'm producing. Crash the market. Now I'm fabulously wealthy. That's nationalized water facility. But I don't really need to nationalize that. What I would like to do is start raising tanks, but they are not complete yet. And let's hope that they come out with a good structural design. A high-grade bureaucrat's office is actually incredibly expensive. I also have to be careful with power. So I've not actually constructed any power plant or anything yet. Do you know what? Level 2 High Command is actually not too expensive and gives reasonably decent bureaucratic point production.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's it. I should lay off the construction for now. I've just captured that vehicle factory, so that's an extra 40 points of industrial capacity per turn. That's going to be a bad attack. Honestly, attacking with infantry is a bad idea, but in the early game you have no choice, so you do it. What you want to attack with really is tanks. Tanks are not something that I think that's it for now. I don't think there's anything else I want to do here. Treasure hoard, viewpoint. That can make things easier to handle in a new area.
Understood.
Oh, nice. The viewpoint was like right in the middle of my territory. Perfect. It's great because it increases loyalty +1 every turn. So I might be able to make this a regular zone very quickly. It's a shame you can't seemingly see how much loyalty an area has. But that will definitely help. Yeah, there's nothing else I can do here right now. Except conserve my resources. But man, opportunities for production abounds here. This is a lot. This is a lot of city. Oh my god. There must be thousands of metal here. Hundreds of thousands of metal. In an ideal world, I want to take all this territory as quickly as possible. But right now I'm not 100% comfortable. This is not the greatest border control that anyone ever had, ever. I've not had the necessary soldiers. Starting with a metal mine is like also a huge hole in my early game here. Not starting with one, there not being one in any of the areas that I've attacked early. It remains to be seen as to whether that will cost me the game in the long term, but it's not good. Ideally, I want to produce my light tanks, and then I also want to do a redesign of the recon car. Because the existing recon car design is awful. It's nice that we got a good machine gun design though, right from the offset. 117 is a great structural score. That's going to mean that future established borders, machine gun border patrol is going to be very difficult to get rid of. We are in the period of relative calm. In one turn, it will come into full force. Scientific outpost, sweet. Scientific outpost, I think, enhances research output. Is that asset upgrading? Oh yeah. Huh. Go gadget private industry. Okay, the population's only going down because of worker demands of my new mine. And we have definitely mined 800 scavenge points from that, so we should have an artifact. Okay, before we worry about that, in fact, we're really out of time, but I just want to have a check here if we have an artifact somewhere. They usually appear in units. sometimes in leaders. Nope. And sometimes in zones. No, it doesn't look like I have any artifacts yet. The old bad rations, huh? No, I don't really have anything exciting going on here at all. See, this is like the least good explanation of what this does ever. Places a new hex perk in the zone. Okay, what does it do? Okay, we got some spare priests here as well. Probably stick them in my first tank regiment once the tank research is finished. Oh well, if we didn't see an artifact this turn, then we'll definitely see one next turn. Okay, one turn until that recycling center is finished. That one is finished, and that is still building. Gotta be very careful to not bottom out any of your resources, and just remember that your resources are accrued in arrears. Meaning that if you spend now, stuff that is... those resources won't be available when you press the end turn button to actually pay for constructions that you've already ordered. That is something mentally that you have to get into your head early on in this game if you want to succeed. I need to do something about these raiders here, but I just don't really have the offensive capabilities to deal with them. Do you know, I wondered, I've been actually, before we finish up, I just keep finding one more thing to do. I'm wondering if this miner here that I have a pact with, they don't really like... I could never win that roll. He's not skilled enough to ever pass that check. And I don't think a 10 charisma bonus would be enough to ever yeah, you could, I mean, I think I could assign a shadow spy, a shadow diplomat. You know, I think I could give the full suite of assistance and still not be able to play this. So, a diplomatic solution to this issue is probably not going to be forthcoming. Even if I had a Foreign Affairs Council, I think it would still be a hard roll. I think I am going to move this here. Just because... I may consider giving this stack a love tap. Seeing what happens. This unit here is actually pretty exposed. Let's try and make that situation a little bit less perilous. Okay, alright, we'll finish up the rest of this turn later. That is it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time.